Hello everyone, my name is Nikhilesh. I welcome you to my channel RP Techno Hub. In today's session, we're going to learn about remove duplicate rows activity and generating a random number in Uipath. Let's get started. First of all, what is remove duplicate rows activity and why do we need to use this activity? So we need to use this activity to remove the duplicate records from a given data table to avoid redundant processing. Redundant processing, as in processing the same records over again, is called as redundant processing, right? So we need to make sure there are no redundant records are present in our data table prior to processing it. So we'll see a simple use case to get hands on our remove duplicate rows activity and how to generate a random number. I hope my videos are informative. If you think so, please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And also do not forget to click the bell icon to get notified on my new videos. So here I got a sample Excel sheet wherein the line items are present. And for each of this line item, I'm going to create a sales order number, a random sales order number. But prior to that, we need to make sure that there are no duplicate records are present. The second row is already present in ninth row, uh, the eighth row, and fourth row is again present in uh, 11th row, and then fifth row is again present in 10th row. 12th is repeated in 13th row. So there are four duplicate records. So we need to remove those duplicates prior to generating sales order numbers. So let me just close this sheet, right? So here I'm reading that sheet into Uipath data table. And what do we need to use? What do we need to use here? So we need to look for remove duplicate. So remove duplicate rows, which is present under programming data table. So just use that. And what do we need to give here as an input? So line items. So in this data table, I got the data. So after removing the duplicate rows, where do you want to store it? I want to store it in the same data table, right? And so how can we make sure? So let me just do right range. So I will make use this activity instead of this. You know the difference, right? So you can see the earlier sessions to know about the difference, right? So here I'm just specifying the file path, that is the workbook path, and I'm going to create a new sheet, so say unique records, and the sheet will be created. And in the sheet, I want to write the line items data table content, and I want to include the headers as well. So here I'm checking this headers, just save it. And before running this process, just close the Excel. Yes, I did close the Excel. So let me just run it just by clicking F5. So the execution got started and got finished. So let me just go in there into this particular workbook. So I got this new sheet called unique records present. And if you observe here, right? So how many records are present? There are 8 records present. And here in the input sheet, 12 records are present. So 4 duplicate records are removed. So this is how we can use the remove duplicate rows activity to remove duplicate rows from a given data table, right? So we are good here. So how to generate a random number? We'll see that now. All right. So I do not want to write that content over again. So I'm just commenting it. And now I will. So for each and every line item, right, that is present in this data table called line items, I need to create a sales order number. So I need to iterate through. So row, for each row under data table, just drag and drop that and specify the data table that you want to iterate through. So this is the data table wherein the line items are present, right? So I need to create a sales order number, right? So just drag and drop assign activity and just click on this and just do control plus. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create an instance for a class called random. So this is how you can create an instance. That means the object, right? The instance. And in here, in this particular class, there is a method called next. Just use that method and give the parameters as start range and end range. Okay. So let's say I want the number to be generated between the sales order number to be generated between 1 lakh and 9,99,999. Okay, so within this range, I want a random number to be generated. So I hope you understand this. So just make use of this method that is present under class called random. Okay, with the corresponding arguments. And now that needs to be stored. So just do Control K, sales order number, just click OK, and still we see this error. That is because it will give you a random number. So this needs to be of type int32. Just click OK. So we have generated random number, random sales order number. Cool. And now we need to store that inside this data table, and then we'll write there. So I will again use assign. And so the argument is row of what is that sheet, what is that column name? In the column name is sales order, right? So let me just copy this, row of sales order, and that should have this sales order number, right? So sales order dot toString. So that will go stored there. Okay, so this is how the random sales order number will be stored inside that particular column called sales order inside this line items data table, and we will just write that into a new sheet, write range. So from the recent, I'm just taking that write range and specify the workbook path, and here I am creating sales orders. Okay, a new sheet called sales orders, and which sheet to be written. So I updated the line items data table, so, and the same needs to be written into this new sheet called sales order. So I want to add headers and just close this Excel sheet. So just give a run. I'm just doing a debug run, that is F5. The executions got started and got finished. And let me just quickly go there to check if the sales order numbers are created, a random sales order numbers. Okay, here I got the sheet created, and there you go. I got random sales order numbers created. I hope you have understood the session. Thank you.